Is this song really a bop, or is it a glorified Tala Tala 3.0?
땡땡 cockatoo.
Hi, welcome. My name's Angelina, and today I'm going to be offering you my honest thoughts on ITZY's comeback with Wannabe. If you want to be my love. Is it everything? Is it repetitive? Did they rip off our Lord and Savior's 21? You will never know unless you make it to the 10-minute mark of this video. And when you do, make sure you click on another one of my videos because you wouldn't want to give your view to one of these third-gen K-pop YouTubers now, would you? Can you imagine? Kevin would be very displeased with that. You also might as well subscribe and click that bell to be notified. And while you're at it, ask me why I pronounce rosé like that. Also, who is part of the Gang Gang Cockatoo squad? I need to know for science. So let's start off by talking about the most buzzing topic surrounding this comeback. And that is the song itself. I've seen a lot of people talk about repetitiveness. And there are indeed some aspects of repetitiveness that I can recognize within the song itself. That being a repetitive sound among their title tracks. In my video predicting ITZY's comeback, which you should check out after this one, I did indeed say that I would be damned if there was not a chanting-like chorus. And a lot of people in the comments were saying that they were expecting, this type of I love myself vibes from the song. And that is very much the case for Wannabe and Tala Tala and ITZY. And though they vary quite slightly, I do think the overall messages in all of them remain quite similar in the sense that authenticity should be valued over everything else. But please keep in mind that this isn't something that is inherently wrong. However, I do recognize how this could rub some people the wrong way, having comeback after comeback be very similar in nature. And this was indeed quite similar criticism for Kill This Love because a lot of people said it's just too similar to Turu Turu. I personally don't mind a very strong sense of familiarity when it comes to comebacks from a group that I like. And ITZY has effectively created a certain vibe, created a certain sound, and has consistently maintained those elements across every single one of their title tracks. Songs that talk about being authentic, songs that stylistically sound similar with the chanting elements, songs that are familiar and evokes the sense of familiarity among their fans. And for the most part, a lot of people say that ITZY songs are quite off-putting when you first listen to them. But I found this was quite the opposite. I found, unlike ITZY, when I first heard this song, I was actually really blown away by it and I actually really liked it. It honestly evokes early 2000s vibes to me, I think. I don't really know how to put my finger on it, but it definitely gives me this old time feeling vibe. Especially when they call themselves bad, it gives me, Willa Ford, I'm gonna be bad vibes. There are just some lines in the song that I feel like they could kind of be in an early 2000s movie. But back to this recurring sense of familiarity, this recurring sense of familiarity. There was no synonym that I had in my mind. This obviously isn't something that is exclusive to the song. Now, I definitely see a lot of elements within the choreography that are quite familiar as well. And I appreciate that they do have a certain dance style that screams ITZY, but I have to say that for this comeback in particular, the choreography wasn't really my cup of tea. ITZY in particular was just so hard-hitting and I was in love with that choreography. Don't get me wrong, there's definitely some cool elements. However, I do find that the choreography lacks, how should I say it, a kind of iconic killing part. For ITZY, we had the element of the chorus, which was just so full of energy. And then we had this amazing dance break. But for Wannabe, I feel like the chorus doesn't hit as hard, but also the movements just, they don't stick in my head. It's not something that I'm going to really remember. And quite honestly, as of now, the only thing that really sticks out to me among the entire choreography, a move that I was like, oh, I really like that, that's cool, is the beginning of their dance break. I thought that move was really cool. Moving on to the outfits, which is honestly one of my favorite parts of a comeback. I am over the moon excited to see what kind of stage outfits they come up with for this era. And that's what's really exciting about ITZY personally compared to Twice. Don't come for me. I did a Twice outfit ranking video with Kpop Shake. You can go check it out. And what I noticed with Twice is that for a lot of eras, their styling just kind of meshes together, which in my opinion, in my brain, makes it a lot harder to kind of pinpoint certain eras. Whereas with ITZY from the beginning, they have had very distinct styles for every single one of their title tracks. which is great in my opinion because though their songs do evoke the sense of familiarity, though their songs are very similar in nature, and perhaps maybe some people would find them very hard to distinguish at times, though all that may be true. Their outfits are usually very consistently stunning and very consistently quite different from one comeback to the next. So there's no way you're going to mix up ITZY's outfits with Talatala's outfits, and hopefully with these new stages that we're going to see and roast in the future, it will be the same case. It will have its own flavor, and we will be able to distinguish Wannabe from ITZY from Talatala. But yeah, back on the subject of plaid, I like how they did a schoolgirl theme, but they didn't pull it twice on us. So yes, we do have these schoolgirl vibes, but it's not done in a super typical way. And I talked a little bit about this with G-Friend's comeback with Crossroads, that they did this schoolgirl inspired theme, but they went really goth with it. And I appreciated that because it was quite different. So I have to give it to ITZY for doing something on that wavelength, but equally as different. I mean, they didn't go goth, but they went a little bit more high fashion. Digressing. I am going to allow myself to be extra obnoxious. If that offends you, you might want to skip to this time code. I'm not going to put a time code because you won't die. I'm going to compare the music video to other things I've seen in K-pop before, notably second-gen K-pop, even some third-gen K-pop. Don't worry, I got everyone covered. Ever since my EXO scandal of 2019, I have kind of put my, why this comeback is so familiar series on the back burner because I do recognize how obnoxious it is. So, I decided, if you guys really don't like that series, I'm still going to put it in the video, but it's not going to be the focal point of the video. Because sometimes I do rewatch those videos and I'm like, wow, I know I'm making jokes, but I also don't make it very clear that I'm making jokes. And then I wonder why people take what I say out of context. Well, duh. So, first of all, the music video did remind me of 21's Scream. And then there was a haircutting scene, which, by the way, usually these haircutting scenes are super dramatic. And, you cut a lot of hair because it's supposed to symbolize change and blah, blah, blah. She literally cuts an inch off of her hair, which is so fucking relatable. You have no idea. But what I can say is at least she didn't fuck up her hair like V did in Danger. And then this scene reminds me of a scene in Jennie's Solo. Okay, obnoxious hours are over. That's a lie. So the very last thing we're going to do is check out what you guys thought of the music video. So I asked you guys in my community tab what you thought of the music video. Fucking duh. Oh, I posted this 4 hours ago. What is time? I swear, I thought I posted it 2 seconds ago. Does anyone else have zero concept of time? It's not as hard-hitting musically, but dang, they snapped on the choreo and expressions. Fashion is a tad bit questionable. Fair enough. I love that they still carry the same message, even though this comeback is more of I feel good about myself rather than I don't care about you vibe. I love it so much that I can't wait for the stages. Me too. They had 2 stages that were re-uploaded from V Live, and one of the stages featured the black and white outfits, and then the other stage featured... I'm not gonna lie. They were not my cup of tea. But you know what? Every era has its fair share of bad outfits, except for 21's I'm the best. I do not make the rules. Definitely my favorite comeback. I'm going to buy the album. This was Shijin's era, and you cannot change my mind. Most comments are saying tired of the self-confidence type songs. BTS has been going with Love Yourself concept for years. No one is bored, but ITZY does it for 3 mini albums, and people are bored. Double standards. K-pop Double Standards Part 3. Part 2 is flopping, by the way. Please go watch it. The structure of the song itself is a bit more pleasing and acceptable by the majority of listeners. Not that type where you have to listen 1,000 times before you love it. Very impressive. That's definitely something that I noticed as well. Like I mentioned before, I didn't love it at first, but this song, I don't know what it is about it, but the vocals, everything, it sounded so aesthetically pleasing. Aesthetically? It sounded so auditorily pleasing to me. It was pleasing to the eardrums. It was, I was gonna say orifice. That sounds a bit questionable. Anyways, that is all I had to say. Leave down in the comments below what you thought of this comeback. Did you like it? Were you underwhelmed? If you've made it this far, you might as well subscribe to this channel. I will see you guys next time. Bye!